Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've actually created a YouTube video, but here we are again. I'm just chilling out, nice sunny day. But there's a lot to talk about in terms of Liverpool, you know. It's been a while since I've actually covered LFC and football in general on this channel. But if you're new, welcome. And if you've been watching, thank you very much. And feel free to hit the like and subscribe. I want to see how far I can take this, to be honest. But obviously, I've been quite inactive over the last couple of months. But where do I start? I mean, my last video was about Liverpool being in crisis back in October when we lost to Manchester United 2-1. But we've seen a few more months pass by since, and it's looking slightly better. We've had a 13-game unbeaten run, which wasn't the most convincing. We drew the likes of Wolves, Burnley, Burnley and Leeds at home particularly. We beat Wolves, but it wasn't convincing. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on the situation regarding Liverpool first, and then, you know, maybe in another video I'll speak about a few other things regarding the title race, the Champions League. But this is just going to be a general football video, but I'm going to start with Liverpool, of course, since I'm a massive Liverpool fan. First things first, Hugo Ekitike is amazing, as is Florian Wirtz. They are both starting to click. They're both starting to score goals, which is great to see, honestly. Kerkez as well, he's settled in very nicely now after struggling in the first few months. But yeah, I mean, we've had some indifferent results, a couple of bad draws, but our most recent results have been very good, you know. Let me start with the Carabao game, a 6-0 win for Liverpool. It was quite comfortable. I mean, I knew we were going to win the game, but to win 6-0 was actually very, very impressive. And that sealed our place in the automatic spots in the last 16. We ended up finishing third. Arsenal won 8 out of 8. Bayern Munich won 7 out of 8 and finished second. Then, yeah, we got third place with a resounding 6-0 win over Karabag. And yeah, the game that followed after that for me was the one which really made me a lot more happier, you know, beating Newcastle by 4-1. We went behind early on through Anthony Gordon. The first half an hour was absolutely awful, I have to say that. But we reacted shortly afterwards. Hugo Ekitike scoring a magnificent brace. Florian Wirtz done really well initially for the first goal, dribbling past a few players and finding Ekitike with a lovely cross. But the second goal was my favorite, honestly. The ball boy literally gives it to Alisson. Alisson plays it to Kerkez. Kerkez plays a wonderful pass, and Hugo Ekitike with a fantastic finish on the, you know, with his topo basically on the right foot, which was amazing. That put us 2-1 up before half time. And in the second half, we just picked it up. We played a lot better than Newcastle, and Florian Wirtz, who, let me talk about Wirtz for a minute. He's been absolutely amazing since the Wolves game. I will be honest, Wirtz has been playing well from the start as well, but he had to adapt physically to the Premier League. And he wasn't scoring in the opening 20 or so games. He did provide the odd assist in the Champions League 2 against Frankfurt, if I remember correctly. Also, he's been performing really well, but he just hasn't had the goals or assists to show for it. But since he scored against Wolves on the 27th of December, he has scored 6 times and assisted about 4 goals or something. So he's on 12 goals and assists at the time of recording this video. So he has been magnificent, honestly. And it was never in doubt. I think his quality was never in doubt. He was always going to show up one way or another. But Ekitike has been the man since the start of the season. And he looks like he's going to be our main striker for years to come. Obviously, I want to see Isak get back on track. He is injured at the moment and should be back in the next couple of months. But next season, like I said, we could potentially see a strike partnership between Isak and Ekitike. Let's see how that one goes. But yeah, on the transfer aspect, a quick one. We have managed to sign Jeremy Jacquet from Rennes. Fantastic signing, honestly. I'm not going to claim to have watched too much of him, but Rennes produced really good talent, and he's up there. You know, 20-year-old, very imposing centre-back, quick. You know, I've watched a few extensive compilations of Jacquet, and it's a fantastic signing. 55 million plus 5 million add-ons. So he will be joining in the summer. I mean, unfortunately, we couldn't get a deal done in January to reinforce our defence because Leone's out for the rest of the season. Gomez is injured again, but hopefully he'll be back soon. So we are a little bit light defensively. Frimpong is also injured, but should be back. So we've had to play Szoboszlai at right back. But we've got a massive game against Manchester City coming up. So hopefully we can make it 3 wins in a row and really start building some momentum. Because honestly, if we are hoping to win the Champions League, then for me, we certainly need to have a bit of momentum in the league and, you know, just get some performances going, some goals, some wins. So let's see what happens between now and the rest of the season. It is now February, so 3 months or so to go until the season ends. But like I said, we've still got a lot to play for in terms of the Champions League and the FA Cup. And in the Premier League, obviously, it's a shame we can't really retain the Premier League title, but at least what we can do is secure a place in next season's Champions League and just build some momentum, as I said. But yeah, in terms of Arne Slot, obviously I've backed the guy as much as I wanted to back him, but I think the Forest defeat a few months ago was when I started to question him, and I started to think maybe he's not that guy. And I'll be honest, I probably still am Slot out, but that interview he had with the hierarchy, Hughes and Billy Hogan, the CEO, does indicate to me that maybe he will stay next season. And I personally don't mind, as long as Liverpool improve their performances and we start winning games on a consistent level and maybe walk away with a Champions League title or an FA Cup, then who knows. But Xabi Alonso has been sacked by Real Madrid as well a few months ago. So listen, I mean, there is a chance that he could be replaced, but we'll have to wait and see. For me, Arne Slot still has a lot to do to convince the fans. I mean, I don't want to disrespect Slot. I think he's obviously a league title winner for a reason. You know, the squad was amazing, but he's a league title winner for a reason. But let's see what happens with Slot in the summer. All I can do right now, personally, and I think every Liverpool fan should do this, just support the team, see where it goes. You know, don't really talk too much about Arne Slot, whether you want him in or out. But we'll see. There's going to be a lot of changes in the summer. The squad will obviously be trimmed down. Apologies for any background noise, by the way. I still hope you can hear me. But yeah, I mean, Robertson was linked with a move away to Spurs. Didn't quite materialise, and that's good for us. We obviously want to keep a player of Robertson's experience. And Jones was linked with Inter Milan as well, bizarrely. But good thing that didn't happen. But there's going to be a lot of change in the summer. Make no mistake, there's going to be players leaving, players coming in. And let's see what happens with Arne Slot. But right now, we've just got to focus on each game as it comes. I'm more concerned about the present and Liverpool really starting to win games, you know. So let's see what happens on that front. We've got a good chance in the Champions League. But I will say there's no genuine standout favourite when it comes to the Champions League. I would say that a bunch of teams have equal chance of winning the Champions League. Obviously, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal. We can't discount Arsenal. Arsenal having a brilliant season. They have reached the Carabao Cup final after beating Chelsea by 1-0 in the second leg. Kai Havertz sealed it in the end after a brilliant pass from Declan Rice. So Arsenal are on course for a trophy or two this season, but let's see, they still have to get it done, of course. But yeah, as I said, the Champions League, for me, there's going to be about 5 or 6 real contenders to win it. I would include us in that bracket as well. So Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, PSG, Man City and Arsenal, I would say. You might wonder why I didn't say Real Madrid, but Real Madrid are in turmoil at the moment. I don't think they're going to win anything under Arbeloa. I mean, they're a bit of a mess right now, but listen, it is Real Madrid. I guess you can't rule them out. Let's see what they do in the playoff against Benfica. But yeah, on the final round of Champions League games, I'm not going to say too much on the Champions League on this video, but the main highlight was that Benfica Real Madrid game, Trubin scoring in the dying seconds, the goalkeeper from a header to send Benfica to the last 16. I mean, that was the main highlight. Jose Mourinho was jubilant on the touchline as well. So yeah, they face each other again. So it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds in the playoffs. But yeah, I'm going to head out very shortly. Let me know what you think in the comments. It's nice to drop another video again. It's been a while, so I thought let me just briefly touch on Liverpool for a second. And yeah, only time will tell when I'll make the next video. But hopefully I'm planning to get some stuff set up first and then see if I can consistently drop a video, maybe once or twice a week. But yeah, I thought why not drop one to start 2026 as well. And from a Liverpool point of view, hopefully, as I said, we can beat Manchester City this Sunday. Even a draw would be okay, to be honest, because we're not really going for the title, unfortunately. So let's see what happens in the City game and who we get in the next round of the Champions League. Just quickly on the Champions League, Liverpool can play one of Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Galatasaray, or Club Brugge. But if I had to narrow that down, it will most likely be Atletico Madrid or Juve. So it's going to be a tricky tie, but like I said, it favours us definitely, because this isn't the Juventus side of 5-6 years ago that were winning the Scudetto, and Atletico Madrid are also not the same. But we played them earlier on in the season and we beat them 3-2 in what was a very dominant performance. So I fancy our chances to go all the way in the Champions League, but honestly, it's anyone's guess who's going to win the biggest prize in club football. But I'm going to sign out for now, and let's see what the remainder of the season has to offer. We are in the business end of the season right now, so let's see how it goes. If you have anything to add, please feel free to let me know in the comments. What do you want me to talk about next? I am inclined to talk a little bit more about the Champions League on a separate video, but I just wanted to come back on here and talk about Liverpool for a bit, our situation, my thoughts on the last few months, and my overall assessment is we're doing okay. We're not doing amazing, but we're also not in a crisis anymore. So it's good to see that we're, finally starting to win games again. One defeat in 15 isn't too bad, but for me, it's the last two games that obviously winning 6-0 and 4-1 with Ekitike being on fire. Mo Salah's now back from AFCON as well. Hopefully he can step it up. And I personally want to see more from Gakpo as well. He just hasn't been, a great season for Gakpo. I don't know if that's something to do with the lack of competition. Obviously Luis Diaz has left. And we can't obviously put the pressure on young Rio Ngamoha as well to compete with him. So let's see what happens. But I want to see a little bit more from Gakpo. Mo Salah hopefully will start contributing again as well. I mean, he already has, to be fair, a couple of assists and a goal in the Champions League. But I'm going to leave it there, and let me know what you think in the comments, as I said, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. I'm still going to observe from the outside if I'm not able to make videos, but yeah, I hope you like the red background as well, quite fitting because I'm a Liverpool fan. But yeah, I'll hopefully catch you in the next video, and yeah, as always, up the Reds. Peace.